fight to have shared experiences with your partner. Make sure that you learn to love. Let me tell you, even if I don't do what I love, I can do what I don't love with Tim and I will feel like I'm on top of the world. I don't know whether you understand what I'm talking about. I love being with him, that even if it means me not doing what I love, it's okay. For as long as I am with him. And it's not because mwesibako, because he wants the same thing. Yeah, that's true. Because waba wesibako muntu, you can feel it. When someone doesn't want it over chekaka, you can feel it. You get it? So shared experience is very, very crucial. So for you who is just starting out on this journey, make sure that even if you go, for example, I would go to a sauna, not because I love going to a sauna. No. Because he maybe wants to, to have his time. And I'm like, no, it's okay. So what is football? We used to watch World Cups together, all matches together. And let me tell you, I will be there. I would also have a side, and I would make sure that I pick an opposite side, because now me, I'm not really a fanatic. He's the one who is a fan. But the shared experiences, even when we go back home, he would be talking about the players. And I will know which player, what they did, and that conversation will go on for 2 hours. And whoever is watching us is like, I remember one time Diana asked us, because we will come get to the sitting room. We will come get to the sitting room. We are still in a conversation. And then after that, we feel like everyone else is shouting. We go to the bedroom and lock ourselves. We go on with our conversation until sometimes they will knock and be like, Munaria. And then we'll be like, Tuja kuja. And so Diana was like, but temuko wa kuogera. Like, we've been together for so long. By now, you should be tired. But the shared experiences merge us and they help us a lot. I had to dwell on that because, again, I felt it's helping so many other people. How do I deal with a partner who has a negative mind? Now, you've not described whether this is a marriage or a relationship and what kind of a negative mind. I feel that this question lacks a lot. Yeah, let's, please.
I think Coach Zai somehow mentioned something, and it's really profound. Every change that you want to see in your partner starts with you. Any change, however small, however big, that you would want to see in your partner starts with you. Anyone wishing, like when you look and you're like, I wish so-and-so would behave like this. Start to live that life. They will definitely follow. You get my point? I don't know whether I've made myself
Be positive and continue being positive. Their negativity should not distort you or dilute your positivity.
Exactly.
So before you know it, negativity, just like the Bible says that light cannot dwell together with. So negativity, when someone is negative, they can easily lure you to be negative. Now, when you're positive, it's very hard to lure someone to be positive. But again, when you repeatedly do the positivity, they have no chance but to ask, but what kind of woman is this?
So
and then they're drawn to do that.
The change that you want to see in your partner actually starts with you. So you start living that life. And that's how we live by example. When you start living that life, if your partner comes back late, don't come back late. Yep. Come back early. Okay? If it's not taking care of the family, don't drop the ball on taking care of your family. Because it doesn't cease to be your family. It's your family. If your partner is not doing the right thing, it doesn't guarantee you should do the same thing. No. Do the right thing. Do exactly what you'd want them to do. If they're taking the wrong turn, let them be. Now, Zai Yagambye, a real man maintains and that's what I charge you, my fellow guys. Whether the wallet is empty, maintain. Seriously.
And protect.
And profess.
And
I've said this before. You come to my house, you will first kill me before you kill my wife or touch my children. You will first finish me before you get to them. At least let my dead me watch you finish them. But I can't be alive and you're finishing. And that is what they call protection.
Yeah.
Number 2, I've said over and over that since akwati bwansonyi kusindika chigali to take care of my home. If things turned and flipped and I must go and push a wheelbarrow Aish, I've gone through all the training. There's no business that I've not done. Because I can go back and do anything to take care of my family. And that is my chitibwa ng'omusajja, that I have my family together. And
you're the head.
And I have no excuse. Actually, someone said, there is no one excuse that a man can give for failing his family.
Yeah. Wow. Sometimes I wish more men can take in these words and be able to live them in actual lives. I believe that so many homes will be good and we'll be building a better Uganda. But I am so glad. Every gentleman that is here, please clap for yourself. And ladies, please clap for every gentleman that is in this place. This gives me a lot of hope and a lot of happiness. And I think, gentlemen, when you see me, sometimes I am too excited to see you. Why? Because when a man grows, it's definite that a family will grow.
And the single women here, please marry our boys. They are single. Don't look outside. Simon,
Actually, on that note, there is someone here who is saying, how can I attract a woman of my standards? Of late, I'm attracting women who are not of my class. No, this person has not explained. It's very possible they are attracting people of low class, or they are attracting people who are above their class. Because some men have those issues. They only attract people of higher class. And so they are fearful. I can't maintain high maintenance. You get it. But when it comes to crossing classes, there is something that I usually call, it's like a dating siren, or something you exude, that you give out. For example, there are people who will say, I only attract married men. Now, there is something that you are doing that is attracting the married men. When you say I'm attracting girls not of my standard, if they are low class, that means you dwell more in the low class areas, so you are attracting the people in that same pool, because you're in that pond. You can't be a fish and you're in a different pond, and you're attracting people in a different pond. So that means that you have to make a deliberate effort, and this is what I will tell you: love has no class. It's very possible that you will say that you're a middle class, but you attract a high class who wants to be married. They have worked, maybe they have the money, they have the status, but that does not take away the fact that they are women and they are looking for a proper man to get married to, and they don't mind whether they get married to the same kind of class. Okay? So that shouldn't be your worry. Your worry should be to create more confidence in your life. Create more confidence in your life. If you think you're in a pond that you're not supposed to be fishing from, then get out of that pond. Because chances are you can bump into a high-class lady when you're moving, or at a corporate function somewhere because you were once invited. And maybe it's not that you hang out with corporates all the time. But when you're attracting someone of a lower class, most of the times it desires proximity. That you are around them so many times, and so you develop a friendship, and then before you know it, that friendship wants to go to another level, but you don't want to go to another level because you still have hopes that you're going to attract another class. So by the way, someone can be a class lower than you, and they will be a very good partner. Very good partner. So I want you to be able to realign what you really want in a woman and what you want for yourself. Before you because you will get a person the same class and you will still fail. Okay? So let's go back to the drawing board.
Now, love has no class. And that is for sure. I will tell you something. There's a young man, or one of my boys, and with him, he's only been looking for a mother, not a wife. And for the longest time. So every time he would fall in love, he would only fall in love with a woman who's at least 10 years older than him. Now, I had to sit down and take time only to realize that he did not get the motherly love. That enough love from a mother. So every time he was looking for a woman, he was looking for a mother. So he would never, ever, ever date a girl that's younger or in his age brackets. He only looked for a woman that is older, because that woman took care of him. Brought him lunch, dinner, and took care of him, bought him underwears, socks. You get the point? Now, when you find a person attaching class or conditions to love, there's a bit of a background
trauma.
issue.
Yeah,
Yes,
they're dealing with something.
They're dealing with something and they just need help. You understand? Because love has no class. But chiba chikukubye ng'olabye gw'oyagala ogw'eddalu totegeera kaseera and it's okay. Very okay that when a person is in love, you understand? Bw'aba ategeera nnyo mu love wabaawo obuzibu. When you fall in love, you understand? You can find the woman in sackcloth. Okay, ng'alinga mulalulalu naye ng'omwagadde. N'ogamba nja mukuba ekizigo, nja munaaza, nja munyiriza gwe njagala. And that's very normal. But when you find omuntu yeetolatola ennyo yeerondalonda ennyo, take them to a drawing board omuyambe. There is more to him or to her than
the excuses.
Yes, because then there's something that's been built in you. Probably gye wakulira obwavu bwali bungi toyagala bwavu. So you've told yourself,
you're not looking for love. You're looking for a ladder.
I will not marry a man who is poor. You get the point? So there's a bit of a background issue to the whole thing. And that's what you should be dwelling on because we're in that area.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nayo okimanyi nti abaganda bagezi nnyo. I've just sensed that dala in Luzungu is ladder. So omuganda ye yagamba kanchifuule nchifude dala. Okay, so someone is asking, is it normal to not know what I want in life, not even my goals? This is a person that finished their bachelor's degree and they went back for nursing. Is it normal for me to not know what I want in life, not even my goals? I will say it's normal. It's very normal. We've grown up in a society that does not elaborate or bring us to the forefront of finding out what our passions are, what our purpose is, and what we ought to do in life. So we grow up having rules that we must follow all through. And I will go to the second question. How do I overcome living in my parents' dreams? I did a bachelor's degree in BBA, but my mom took me back to do nursing because she's in that field. I went back to do a certificate in nursing, but I hate it so much that I hate even someone calling me a nurse. Wow. But I went back because I was unemployed. Please help me. Am I being normal? Yes, you are 100% normal. Yeah. The only thing is, you know, when you don't know your purpose and what you're passionate about, half the time we are doing elimination method. Yeah. Like, we know what we don't want, but we don't know what we want. Exactly. Now, you know that I don't want nursing. You know that I did BBA because I had to go to campus, but not because that's what I want. But you will find that you're the kind who is so passionate about fashion that you will go to a great length that even when you are a nurse, kusomero banga agenzo kola fashion show half the time. And no one has told you that, by the way, that is your strength. Because we have not been brought up in an environment where parents treasure our strength and our passions. And actually they would say, for example, when as young as, I think, 2 years, every boy loves football. But I think for Ariel, it was too much. That even when we brought a therapist, was like, you know what? No, this is too much love for football that, you know, you have to be able to groom that and see. Bwana dropping us somewhere, it's very possible that they didn't like that much. It was momentary. You get it? As parents, we have found out that you do not have to be an engineer to be successful. You can actually be a footballer and be very successful. You can be a DJ and be very successful. Yes. So if Ariella tells me, Mommy, all I want is a DJ kit, and I'm like, you know, have your DJ kit in peace. Follow what you want for as long as I can be able to guide you better, to make better decisions, but not to encroach on who you are as a person to turn you into me. Yes. Okay? So that is very wrong. But again, I want us to cut our parents some slack because that is the best that they know. Exactly. Kati muli atunulia economy eyuze nagamba mwana wange bwalibeera nansi maybe tajja kubulwa mulimu. You get it? Yep. So for her, she's doing it out of love. And maybe she has seen that you are not firm enough to say that, you know what? I don't want that, mommy. ne bw'onoosasula sente z'ogenda kumala ng'omala biseera.
Yeah.
Take me to a tailoring school. That will take me for cosmetology. Like you don't have that firmness. And because our parents, we grew up without firmness. Because then, what confidence did you later kumuzadde nga yakusasulira?
Yeah.
You can't bring that confidence. So it is very normal. What you're going through is very normal. But please make sure that you get help. Part of what we do, even in the mentorship, and even the coaches are here to help you. You can sit down with one of the coaches and they will help you find where your passions are, where your purpose is, what you want to do out of life, and you can live a meaningful life.
Actually, that question somehow connects with the other question.
Yes.
Where someone said, is it normal not to know?
It's the same person.
Let me tell you, you have an opportunity that this era has coaches, has mentors. But we were all under a blind kind of life. You know, when you're blinded by just only an education system and you blindly follow it, you know, and these are the results, most especially when you blindly follow without asking questions. Because it did not give us room to choose who we are. It did not give us room to groom what we actually want to be. So we ended up, you know, like when you are sampling and, you know, for example, the man speaking to you is a qualified engineer. I'm a qualified civil engineer. I was bored. Bored after school. I did it, I think, for about 3 months or 6 months. I don't even remember. I got tired of it and retired because I was naturally a businessman. I would sell anything. So I decided to go into business and dropped engineering. Did I make a loss? I don't know. But the truth is, I am more happy a businessman than I would ever be an engineer. So what I did at that point was to pursue exactly what I was. And I have no regrets about that. So while you are seated there, it's possible that even up to today, by the way, this can be a challenge, that if I just randomly picked out someone from here and I asked them what they want to be, it's possible that they don't know. Yeah. I'm telling you.
They don't have that clarity.
I would pick out a person and I'm like, in 2 minutes, tell us what you want to be. And you will see. So it's very normal that some people don't. But that's not a problem. That's why you are here today. Yeah. And that's why these coaches exist. Now, don't be mean on yourself not to at least, if you can't afford the fees, at least you understand. Because asking is for free. No one is going to charge you or give you an invoice for asking. Gamba, Sirina. I am sure the Zaituns of this world are mothers. They will not turn a deaf ear. You understand? I have seen her trying to help. I know that they will help. If you can't afford, and you genuinely can't afford, at least you give them a call and tell them, I need a mentor. I need a coach. I need someone to hold me by the hand and help me because I feel lost. Tell you what, our culture here does not support certain things. One, we don't speak back to our parents. What they tell you is the alpha and the omega. You know? And then some of you, by the time you even go to university, they were still deciding certain things for you. Even when you were done with university, they dictated certain things.
They even decide the woman you marry. Some of them can go ahead and decide.
Exactly. But what you need is a mentor. What you need is a coach to hold you by the hand and help
you politely assert your strength and authority without disrespecting anyone, because our parents again deserve the respect. Hello, coach. How do I deal with a wife who focuses so much on her work than her home, who never wants to give time to talk about our family issues? Finally, she gets a miscarriage and blames it on you. How can I help her stop taking all the things personal, even the little things she sees other men do? She carries them to you, blaming you. Okay? I know the response that I'm getting, but just like I think it's Coach Molly who hinted on it, that when you operate from a place of trauma, okay, you can jeopardize so many things. Half the time, you don't have the clarity. Yes, you know you want a family because you are in a family, you are in a home. But again, the willingness to do the right thing in that home to make it work also fails. Okay? So that means this person, you need help, but you don't need help alone. Yes, you can come alone if your partner refuses. But better yet, you need a couple session to sit down and chat about life. Because She needs to be, a person that has built walls around her, a person that, and that could come from where she grew up, from the experiences she has had. So she's thinking she's living her own life in a marriage, which is not right. You're supposed to live as part of the couple in a marriage. There has to be codependence in a marriage. You can't say I'm Miss Independent, so I'm going to work, mind my job, get my money, and then mind my business. That's not going to work. That's not a marriage. That alone can break a marriage. So you need to be helped, the two of you, not just you as one, but the two of you, because she needs to know what she's doing wrong, and chances are she's not going to listen to you right now, because everything you say, you are nagging her. Everything you say is like, you're putting your authority on me, or you're ordering me, or so she's going to react, since she's also blaming you for what other, when they say, men are cheats, then she's like, kantereka kasente kange, omusajja bangamba tomweyalira n'omwebika. Yes, because then, because in marriage, it's about being vulnerable. It's about, giving your whole. Until you discover that your partner is a narcissist or a toxic person, or there is another trait that needs to be addressed. Okay? But proper vulnerability is a nurturing component for any relationship or marriage. Any tip? Let's I think you need help. Please make sure that you reach out so that we can get finishing strong. Is definitely my goal. Being in charge of my life is my goal. But my challenge is I have not mastered how to manage my relationship with my narcissistic husband. Yet that is where most of the triggers come from. I have not mastered how to deal with my narcissistic husband. Now, I'll start this to respond to this question from this angle. Who told you he's a narcissist? How did you know? Okay? Because narcissism is a diagnosable trait. Okay? So if you declared your partner a narcissist, make sure that you get a second opinion. And this is the other thing. There are narcissists
what if she has observed traits of a narcissist in the husband, and she's basing on that
to ask this question?
Yes.
That's where I was heading.
Okay.
To give a general overview, because when you say that he triggers you the most. Now, a narcissist only triggers you if you give them attention and you allow them to trigger you. Right? A narcissist has no power if you, number one, ignore them. Number two, you empower yourself. And number three, you live in your authenticity. You don't lower yourself in order to accommodate them, because the more you accommodate them, the more they request for more from you. They require for more from you. You remember the statement that says a narcissist will ask you to sleep flat so that he can walk on you, and he will ask you, why is the bum up? It should also go flat. Okay? Like, go flatter than flat can be. So they are non-appreciative, that even when, because this is what happens, there are narcissists, there are different types of narcissists, but I will not go into that. But there are those that are blood suckers. If you're a woman, all they will want from you is money, because they know you're generous, you're hardworking, and you have religion in you. And so they will keep taking money away from you. Okay? But they keep taking money away from you. So you're thinking, since I'm really supporting this relationship, I'm going to be respected. Zero respect for you. Including their narcissists that beat. Okay? They will insult you, beat you, and then there are those that are just, they enjoy smear parties. They will go out there and paint you like you are the worst person on the planet. Why? Because maybe you stood up to them in one way. You said, no. Emere sigenda jikugabula sawa 10 za kiro. When you find time to come to your home in the sensible time, then we will have a conversation. Or a sentence sigenda kuola. For example, akugamba, there is one who said, ba omwami yali narcissist namusaba 20 millions. But he had a track record of asking for money and not paying back. So namugamba no. nkubanja 200 million that you have not paid back until today. So I am not giving you any more money. I am going to use that money for something else. Definitely he went around smearing her, blackmailing her, and everyone was calling her a mad woman, how she's not respectful, she doesn't want her marriage, how her man is going to go away and cheat, and if he goes away, what will she do? So what they wanted, they employ flying monkeys so that they can subdue you, so that you can be able to accept their terms. So that means their game is to dominate you and for you to be a mat for the rest of your life. So even if you're giving them money, you should beg from them to even have something to do your hair from. So it's a very bad trait. But just like I said, being authentic and standing in your truth and saying, who am I? I'm not going to become a different Hilda. If I'm not going to give you that money, I'm not going to give it to you. If I am not going to go to that mokolo because you want to show how you have a happy marriage, and yet we are not having a happy marriage, I am not showing up to pretend. I will stay in my home and lock my door. You get it? And so the more you do these things, so they discover gamba, so before you know it, they start being careful and they will bring more tactics. When you employ more tactics, they employ more tactics. So just know that the battle, this is my last comment on the narcissist, the battle with the narcissist never ends until you separate. I will say it again. The battle with the narcissist will never end until you separate or you are fully subdued and are willing to cope with everything that they are doing. So it's a choice that you have to make. I know it's a tough one, and not many people are going to say the truth. Everyone will tell you, abantu bachuka, ajja kuchuka, mugumikirize. People have waited 40 years and I have gotten out of their marriage when they are 60 years old. Nolabo mukaza agudde mbogubu goba omusajja, because women are also narcissists. Nolabo omusajja akaddiye avudde mu bufumbo n'omugamba kikinaganda gumikiriza omukazi nali manya ajja kuchuka for 40 years. So it's not a discouragement, but we are saying choose your difficult. Everything is difficult, but choose your difficult.
You know, one of the things that happens with a narcissist is that they live their lives in their head. So their expectations are already met in their head. And what they expect is a replica of what they know or what they have lived. So expecting honesty from a person who lies to himself. You understand? You expect honesty from a person who's lied even to himself about something that is impossible. So it's very, very hard. The only thing is, I will tell you, you pray. Hallelujah.